everyone, wishing you all an energetic and enthusiastic day. So let's start our day with a motivational quote. So here is your quote. If you can dream it, you can do it. So it's by our favorite Walt Disney. So I repeat, if you can dream it, you can do it. Definitely, if you have a dream about your life, you can achieve it, you can move along with it. So let's have a dream and move along with it. So today, let's have a glance over the natural resources. So here we will be discussing natural resources in one shot. What are the natural resources on the earth? What are the renewable resources as well as non-renewable resources? So we have here natural resources as air, water, minerals in the soil, biogeochemical cycle, ozone layer. 5 important topics we have. So just let us see. So first we have air pollution. What is air pollution? We have learned any undesirable changes that which is taking place in the atmosphere, in the air, that is air pollution. So what are the causes of the air pollution? There are n number of causes. Need not look to these images. Without that we can count on the fingers that the n number of causes for the air pollution. We know that because due to the industries, due to the dust, due to the agricultural practices, due to the domestic waste, sewages, transportation, all these are the reasons for the air pollution. Still we have the image here, the industry and energy supply, dust, transport, waste management, household energy, agricultural practices, all these are the causes of the air pollution. There are n number of causes for the air pollution. What is the remedies for this air pollution? So here we have the remedies for the air pollution. Invest in energy efficient power generation, then improve the domestic industry and municipal waste management. So we can improve the waste management and we can reduce the agricultural waste, then certain agroforestry activities and making the greener and more compact cities with energy efficient buildings, growing more and more plants and growing greener, and that also helps the environment, and provide universal access to clean affordable fuels and technologies for cooking, heating and lighting. Then build safe and affordable public transport systems and pedestrian and cycle friendly networks. So definitely if our schools and all are near, then definitely our parents will not send us by vehicles. They will be sending us by bicycle to reduce the pollution and also to help the environment in various ways. So we can be more eco-friendly, thus we can reduce the pollution. Nowadays we know that the checking, control, pollution control machines are being kept and they do check the vehicles, the pollution of the vehicles and all, and thus they also assure that whether they are increasing the air pollution due to combustion, due to the transportation, due to the automobiles. We know that there are n number of reasons for the air pollution, and also there are remedies also. If we grow more and more plants, if we check the vehicles regularly, all these are the, if we grow more and more plants, all these are the reasons we can have the remedies to control the air pollution. Now next let us move to the water pollution. So what is water pollution? Any undesirable changes that is caused in the water, any changes that which is taking place in the water that causes water pollution. There are n number of reasons, causes for the water pollution. So here we have the image. There are various causes for the water pollution. We know that without knowingly or unknowingly, we do dump all the waste and all in the water. So in the water bodies, we forget that the animals, the organisms are living in the water, and we will be dumping all the waste, the urban waste, the residential waste, towns, and all over, from the agriculture, from the industries, from the chemical industries, all these places we will be dumping the waste to the water bodies, and thus it will be affecting the water bodies. The live organisms which is living in the water bodies will be affected. So here we have the mariculture, the commercial and animal fertilizer, due to the fertilizers, fodders, sewages from the industries, from the lands, from the houses, from the domestic sewages, then from the septic tank, the sewage, the waste water that which is going from the the urban areas, town, all these are the causes for the water pollution. So how can we control this water pollution? So there are certain remedies also for the water pollution. So here, taking bath from drinking water sources should be prohibited. So wherever we are drinking the water, taking bath from that particular water sources should be prohibited, should be stopped. Second one is that separate ponds and tanks should be reserved for water supply to the animals. Separate pond should be there, separate tank should be there, it should be supplying water for the animals. Then the domestic and farmyard sewage should be suitably treated before releasing into the water. So all the wastages, whatever we are dumping, that should be treated properly. Then overuse of fertilizers and pesticides should be avoided. We know that if the excess fertilizers are there, then a process will be taking place. We have learned about the eutrophication. So algae will be growing in the water, that will be consuming the oxygen, and it will be affecting the life of the organism of the water body. So there will be a BOD, biological oxygen demand, biochemical oxygen demand. So oxygen deficiency will be there. Due to the oxygen deficiency, so since the algae are consuming more oxygen, so what happens, the living organisms that which is living in the deep inside the water will be affected and they will die. So that's also another reason. So here are certain remedies for the water pollution, how to control the water pollution. Next, moving towards the soil pollution. So next we have soil pollution. What is soil pollution? So any alteration in the soil, the quantity and quality will be reduced of the soil. So that is termed as soil pollution. So any alteration that which is taking place in the soil, that which will be reducing the quantity and quality of the soil, is termed as soil pollution. So there are various reasons for the soil pollution. So what are the reasons? Here we can see application of vapor drift, wind erosion of the treated soil, metabolism in the crop, the chemical fertilizers that which is being used in the crop, leaching and preferential flow, then the chemical and microbial degradation in the water, chemical and microbial degradation in the soil. Due to all these things, industrial waste, domestic waste, plastic, biomedical waste, needles, syringes from the industries, all these causes soil pollution. So we have discussed just now about the water pollution. Now soil pollution. So all these are the reasons for the soil pollution. So we can reduce the soil pollution. How to reduce the soil pollution? By using the biomanures, biopesticides, organic manures should be used instead of the fertilizers and all. We can use biomanures, biological pesticides, all these things can be used. So the growing bacteria will not be destroyed in the soil. If we are adding chemicals or the fertilizers more to grow the quantity, only the farmers are using more fertilizers in the soil. But we can reduce the usages of it. So that also we can prevent. Thus also we can prevent the soil pollution. So we have seen in the details, just we are going through a glance. So these are all the causes of the soil pollution. So here we will be having the remedies also for the soil pollution. So what are the remedies here? Adoption of sustainable agriculture, having organic farming and use of biofertilizers, bio-integrated pest management and proper water management, composting, etc. We can, to a certain limit, we can prevent the soil pollution. The next is of adoption of suitable and proper industrial and urban waste management. Then the next we have adequate controlled use of heavy metal, toxic substances and all. Then non-biodegradable waste can be recycled and used again. Otherwise a heap of waste will be over the soil and it will be polluting the soil and thus causes soil pollution. Then biomedical waste should be used carefully, disposed of. It should be carefully disposed of so that it does not create any health hazard to the human beings as well as to the organisms that which is living. So all these things are the remedies for the soil pollution. So let's move ahead with the biogeochemical cycle. So as I have told you in our previous class, what is biogeochemical cycle? We have already discussed this topic. So all the chemicals that which is being circulating, all the chemicals that which is circulating among the biotic as well as the abiotic factors, that is termed as biogeochemical cycle. In the biogeochemical cycle, we have 5 important cycles. What are they? we have water cycle, nitrogen cycle, carbon cycle and oxygen cycle. These are the 4 important cycles here. So we have to learn it. So here we have nitrogen cycle. So as I have told you, nitrogen is present in the atmosphere. We are not able to receive the nitrogen in the form of nitrogen is of course coming in the form of protein, but we are not able to consume as in that form. So it has to come in the plants and animals. When it is received by the plants, it is consumed by the animals, and the animals will be excreting the nitrogenous waste ammonia. Plants also releasing the nitrogen through the ammonification process, and again it is going back to the atmosphere. So burning of fuel, due to that also the nitrogen is returning back to the atmosphere. And there is another way we have learned, that is industrial and atmospheric fixation, when the lightning and thundering occurs. So this we have already discussed. Now moving towards the carbon cycle. So we know that carbon dioxide is also present in the atmosphere. Plants and all releases atmosphere. Plants release carbon dioxide while we receive oxygen. Okay, so the animals also will be respiring CO2. We, the human beings, also respiring the CO2. Plants will be making, with the help of CO2, they will be preparing food for themselves. In this way, the cycle continues. This carbon cycle also continues, that we have seen in detail. Now, next moving towards the water cycle. So, from water bodies, when the sun is being heating the water, and when it is heated up, it forms in the form of cloud. And from the animals, from the plants, it will be, water loss will be taking place through the transpiration, you can see here. And from water, water is evaporating and going and forming cloud, and the condensation is taking place, and due to the precipitation, water is coming again to the water bodies, and again this cycle is being repeated. So we have seen the water cycle also. And oxygen cycle, next is of oxygen cycle. So plants create oxygen with the photosynthesis, we know that, and animals will be breathing the oxygen, and this cycle is repeated again and again. So oxygen cycle is very, very simple and important. So we have discussed regarding the greenhouse effect too. So what are the greenhouse gases? We have learned methane, hydrogen, carbon dioxide, all these are greenhouse gases. So once when it is being, the sun is radiating the temperature, once it is being trapped by the earth, it is not being sending back. So some solar radiation is reflected by earth and the atmosphere. Most radiation is absorbed by the earth's surface, and it will be warming it. So some of the infrared radiation passes through the atmosphere. Some of it will be absorbed and re-emitted in all directions by greenhouse gas molecules. The effect to warm the earth's surface and the lower atmosphere. We have learned this greenhouse effect. Once it is being trapped, it is not being re-emitted. That is greenhouse effect. And we also have discussed regarding the ozone layer. So how the ozone layer is being affected, how the ozone layer is protecting the earth, and when the chlorofluorocarbon, excess use of the chlorofluorocarbon is there, then by the time the ozone layer will be having hole, and due to that the ultraviolet rays will be coming to the earth, and thus we are being trapped. And we will be having various types of diseases, skin cancer and various allergies, various types of diseases, all these things we have learned. So natural resources is a very, very simple chapter. So here in this chapter we have discussed about the renewable and non-renewable resources. Then we have discussed what is air pollution, the causes, and also we have learned how to prevent it. What are the harmful effects also we have learned. Water pollution, its causes, harmful effects, and how to prevent it we have learned. Soil pollution, its causes and harmful effects, and how to prevent it. Then we have learned about the biogeochemical cycle. What are the biogeochemical cycle? What are the cycles that we have learned here? Nitrogen cycle, oxygen cycle, water cycle, and carbon cycle. These 4 cycles we have learned. Then we have learned mainly about the greenhouse effect, global warming, ozone layer, all these things we have discussed. So please prepare a notes according to it and learn it. Go through your NCERT text. So thank you for being attentive. Thank you. May God bless you all.